Upper tie bar just made it in. I think I've got it about where I need it to be. I've got this installed. I ended up having to take the piece that actually stepped out from under here and just tap it in probably a 1/16 or so that way to get this to drop in and slide over enough that I can get the bolts in this side. It was overlapped the holes. It was a little too far that way. I've got the latch on it and got the cable hooked to it so I can latch the hood and release it. Once I get this fit, I'll take this back off of this piece and I'll paint all this. I'll probably just leave it where it is and paint it. I need to put some paint right there where I had to hammer that buckle back flat. And I'll pull these out once I get them. Once I get everything to fit, I'll know that these would be in the right place, and I'll put them back where they were. But I'm gonna get everything to fit with it like this, then I'll take everything off to do the paint job. I actually had to pull the radiator back out. I had a leak down here in this sensor. I actually went ahead and just ordered this sensor. Comes with the O-ring because this is, got 250,000 miles on it. So I'd hate to have to replace it after I put the radiator back in, because then I got to drain all the coolant back out. Unless I pull it really fast and swap it out, but it's hard to do under the car, so I'd probably lose a ton of coolant. I went ahead and just drained it into a clean container so I can reuse it. I'm gonna go ahead and get everything fit here. I just about have this in the right place. I need to drop it down. It's centered right, but I need to drop it down about a 1/16 or so, just to get the hood nice and tight where it's not shaking at all. And once I've got that set, I'm going to get this painted. I've got it cleaned and scuffed when I got it in. It actually had a little bit of a dent right there. I straightened that up and dollied it flat. And I think one of these back edges here, or maybe it was over here, was bent in. But these things get tossed around in shipping, and when they get taken off, I'm sure they get beat up before they get shipped out to me. So it is what it is. At least it came with the latch, so I saved some money there buying it all together. Okay, the Civic's ready to prime. I had to do a little work on this corner here. Put a little filler on that. I had to lift the corner up and left a little low spot right here, but that's not a big deal. I was going to have to prime this area anyway. I'm going to pull the hood off to prime it so that I can get in the inside edge of the fender towards the back. I'm going to prime the entire top and front of the fender. Sanded out all the rock nicks that had a little bit of rust in each one. Since I'm going to paint it, I might as well sand those out and go ahead and prime it. Once I get the primer done, I'll pull I'll sand the underside of the hood and the hinges and the tie bar that's under there and get those coated white and put it all back together, and I'll paint the outside after I get the primer sanded. Okay, ready for epoxy on the Civic. Tripod's still down, so I'm just going to hold the camera while I spray this. Just 1 second. Alright, that's it for the Civic. I'll get some 2K primer over that after it sits for about an hour. And probably just do 2 coats on the front of the fender there where I just got the rock chips out, but I still need 3 back here over the body work. Right there. Get that blocked out nice and smooth. I'll let that sit for an hour now. I'll be back in a little while with the 2K primer. Okay, the primer's on it. As soon as the hood, as soon as the primer over here was put on the hood, I flipped it over and just sprayed white on the inside and did the hinges, the tie bar, and inside the fender there. I did all my priming and guide coating and whatever, and then I pulled the tape back off of the mount right here, and then a little bit off of here. Just sprayed. Paper was still back behind here to cover all this, but I just sprayed the inside edge of that with white while I had it out. Now I just need to put the hinges back on. I marked where the hinges were going to be. When I put them back, I marked around them with Sharpie. I'm going to put a little white paint all over this bare metal here, and then I'll put this hinge right back where it was, and then I'll paint over the Sharpie. Cover that back up. Same thing over here. Just need to remount the hood and the hinges so that I can get ready to spray the outside. Okay, I've got it ready to paint. I'm going to start with white sealer. Just coat the whole area, at least the whole hood and most of this primer. I may end up doing the whole fender just to see what I do at that point. Got trim masking tape around this piece just to hold this off the fender so I can get behind this edge. And I'm experimenting with something on this one. It's hardly worth it on this, but I'm trying some trim masking tape in here. I can insert it and then rock it back and stick it, and it's sealing off this gap. It's only in contact with the very back of that radius on the edge of the fender. See if I can focus on it. Don't know that I can. There we go. See how it rocks back and it seals off. It's going to keep all this white paint off the black trim inside the car and the wiring loom and all that. It's really not worth using that tape on this car, but I'm just going to try it on this, see what it does. I'll just use this car as an experiment. I think it'll be fine though. I'm going to go get the sealer mixed up, get this wiped down, and get one coat of sealer on it. Let that dry for about 20 minutes, and we'll start with white base after that. I'm just going to seal the whole area because I don't have enough room to blend anyway. If I wanted to do that, to blend or stop the sealer, I'd have to put an adhesion promoter where I'm going to stop that sealer edge. So I'm just going to go ahead and seal the whole thing. Be back for the base coat. Be back in a minute for clear. I'll be back after the second coat. It's been drying about 30 minutes. Actually turned out pretty nice. I don't think I have any fish eyes this time at all. I occasionally get a random one. I got one on the last job. Maybe a little tiny one right in there. You can see it or not. May not even show up on this. Yeah, right there. No big deal there. Turned out nice and slick. I put some pretty slow clear on it. Since I was doing both panels together, I needed to keep it nice and wet. It'd be kind of hard to see the back of the fender here. I don't have a light, but see the reflection in it. Shouldn't need to buff any of this. I may denib a little bit of it. Depends on what I see later. I'm going to get the headlight put in it and the bumper, and this thing will pretty much be done. I need to put the cowl back on back there, the new one, or the used one that I bought for it, and a piece of trim up the side on the windshield, and this thing's just about done. Alright, I've just gone around and split the skin about 2/3 of the way back on the sides and all across the front. Got the hood popped open now. I've already taken the seals off on the corners here for the headlights. Got those installed. This gives me access to the back of all these clips. There's 4 clips here, 4 over here, and it's for the little seals underneath. And these things just about, you can look at them. They go in and they don't really come back out. And you'll break them every time. It just saves the clips. And the hood's trash anyway, so I'm just going to take all these clips out and reuse them, transfer these over, and once I get done, I'll replace those 4 stickers that are in there. I've got the stickers, I just need to put them in here. And that'll have the underside of the hood complete. Alright, here are all the stickers that I've got to replace. This one's for the air conditioner. This one's for the ABS. This one's the battery notice. It actually says right here at the top, drive the vehicle for at least 30 minutes a month to charge the battery. Battery may be permanently damaged. If you don't do that, it's kind of an annoying thing to have to do, but if you drive it frequently, it shouldn't matter. They actually package these things like this with the sticker down, I guess to protect it. They stick it down to a piece of cardboard, so you have to open the package to make sure it's correct. So once you've opened it, it's yours. So there's no way to check it and return it. I guess they may take it back if it's clearly wrong, but you think they would at least leave it where you could see it, maybe like that in the package, and you could check it before you have to open it. But oh well, that's just the way it goes. I'd give you these part numbers, but they're all VIN specific basically, so that's kind of pointless. And this one here you actually have to get from a dealer. It's got the model year in here. It's got the model year 2006, and it's based on the VIN and the model year, so you've got to send them the VIN. It's a controlled item, so they have to order it, and it takes sometimes several days to get. But it's only $2 or $3, just no big deal. It's not like it's expensive or anything. I'm gonna go ahead and get these stuck on. I just need to look underneath and find out where they go. I think it's ABS, battery, AC, and emission control. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe it down with alcohol just to get any dirt, like right in here from just handling the hood and anything I may have gotten on it, and paint over spray or dust or anything like that. Go ahead and wipe it down. I'll get the stickers on it, and that'll have everything under here done. Okay, they're in. That's all the all the labels and everything underneath. And I don't think I showed you what I used to cut the skin off, but I took my 3-inch grinder here and just went around the edge, and it splits where this outer skin's rolled over. It splits it right there, and you can just run a seam buster through there and then break all the glue. I pretty much did that by hand, but it kind of opens itself. There's a little bit of, sometimes there's some rust, there is some adhesive in here you have to split, but after you get the seam split, you can just kind of pull it open. This is going to go to metal recycler in the next load I get, but I'm going to put that in my pile. I'll be back when I get the car completely done. Okay, all that's left is the detail, wash and detail. I've still got it up on the jack stands because I've got to do a set of motor mounts. The mounts in this thing are shot. It's vibrating like crazy. Not really related to the accident, but he noticed it more so after the accident because he was a little more sensitive to what may have happened during the accident. So he's noticed that and wants to do that while he's got it here. Need to touch up the paint on the bumper and on the door where the paint got chipped on this edge when the fender came back into it and he opened the door. But it's essentially done. I'm going to polish this headlight a little bit just to get it a little bit closer to the one I replaced. That's a used one, but it's a little bit more clear. I'm going to clean that one up a little bit too, but this one also needs to be buffed out a little bit so it looks a little bit better, matches a little bit better. See you guys on the next one.